Right. The last one I remember you did this was the 1927 book. Right. I love it. And now you've come back with another one, which I can't wait to read because of you are.
I got to tell you, I believe it comes out today. This is a book about Patty Hearst. You know her. She is the newspaper heiress from the Hearst family who was famously kidnapped in 1974 when she was a 19-year-old student at Berkeley. She was captured by the Symbionese Liberation Army. You famously know the picture where she had converted and robbed a bank, the Hibernia Bank, went on the run for a year, got convicted, went to prison for 22 months, ended up getting her sentence commuted by President Carter, pardoned by President Clinton. This is a famous story, and she went on to become a big socialite. Jeffrey Toobin, one of my favorite authors. He is a commentator on CNN. He has written so many books. The O.J. book, The Run of His Life. I think he's outdone himself. This is a book that has changed my opinion. To me, his premise is this. This is a 19-year-old girl who was kidnapped and terrified and terrorized and all that, but ultimately became a willing participant with the SLA, and not just a willing participant, but somebody who was involved in a murder, which I didn't know, but she was never tried for this. And Jeff's premise, I believe, is she wasn't the victim of Stockholm Syndrome. She became a willing participant in all of this. And I want to bring Jeffrey in right now. Welcome to TMZ Live. Tell me if I've misrepresented you.
No, Harvey, first of all, thank you for all those kind words. But I think, the gist is right. I try to avoid the use of terms like brainwashing and Stockholm Syndrome because, those are not medical terms, those are journalistic terms. And I try to discuss what actually happened rather than putting labels on it.
Well, except the way I saw it was you were essentially saying you didn't believe that she was not exercising free will at an early point in all of this.
No, in that respect, I do agree with you. I mean, when you look at Patricia's conduct, and that's really what I try to focus on. What did she actually do? She's kidnapped on February 4th, 1974. The famous bank robbery of the Hibernia Bank was April 15, 1974. The following month, the SLA, they flee to Los Angeles, and there she takes actions that are so independent and so violent and so independently criminal. That's really what began to seal the deal for me in deciding he was a voluntary participant in these many, many crimes.
What turned me was your description of what happened when she got caught. That to me, somebody who is under the spell of somebody, it takes a while for them to deprogram, and she immediately rolled over all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really remarkable. When she's booked, they ask her name, her address, her occupation, and she lists her occupation as urban guerrilla. But within a couple of weeks, she has completely flipped back. She has said that she wants to return to her family. She was never really an SLA member. And my view of Patricia's conduct is that she was rational throughout. She made a rational choice under the circumstances as a 19-year-old young woman to join the SLA. And once arrested, she made the rational choice to say, the hell with those people. I want to go back to my mansion in the suburbs.
Hey, Jeff, how on earth did she marshal two presidents, not just one, but two presidents to cut her a huge break? Come on.
Well, see, this to me was the most interesting and revealing part of the story because she's sentenced to 7 years in prison for robbing the Hibernia Bank. And after 22 months, Jimmy Carter commutes her sentence thanks in part to lobbying by Ronald Reagan, his future opponent, because Reagan was close to the Hearst family. But then, even more incredible, 20 years later, Bill Clinton, on his last day in office, gives her a full and complete pardon. So that makes her the only person in American history to receive a commutation from one president and a pardon from another. And when you look at the scope of Patricia's crimes, not just the bank robbery that we all know about, But the other bank robberies and the shootings and the bombings,
the murder,
it's really an incredible gift.
So it's money. The answer is her family. She came from one of the wealthiest families in the country, and that's why she got her commuted and then pardoned.
It's money, it's prominence, it's celebrity, it's power. It's not. They weren't just rich, the Hearst family.
Right.
They had an aura of power about them that attracted enormous support.
The very last sentence in the book, it just slayed me. That is such a brilliant ending. I loved it so much. I can't even tell you.
I don't want to, have false modesty. I remember when I wrote that sentence and I thought, you know what? That's pretty good. And it's a short sentence. It's not complicated.
The book is called American Heiress. Read this book. It is fantastic.
Brother Harvey, we go back a long way, and I'm just, it's thrilling to hear you talk this way about my work, and I just want to say thanks.
Well, listen, right back at you for making my vacation. I loved it so much. I have to
Tahiti would have been a nightmare otherwise.
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually did some scoping out. I know that Fox has rights to your stuff. When is this becoming a miniseries, dude?
The OJ miniseries was done by the FX network. Fox 2000, the movie company, has bought the rights, but the same two wonderful screenwriters, Paul Alexander and Larry Karaszewski, are writing the feature based on my book. That doesn't mean it's going to get made.
It's going to get made. It's going to get made. And by the way, I've just got two words for you, and I'm so sure of this. Jennifer Lawrence.
From your lips to Jennifer Lawrence.
Hey, congratulations. It is a masterpiece, Jeffrey.
See you, man.
Okay. I'll take a break.